Cupid's not a fan of the weather today, so there will probably be a lot of assorted dog noises. So I do apologize for that in advance. I am coming off of the best, maybe ever, reading streak that I've ever had, which is possibly related to the fact that my life is in shambles, but at least I have new 5-star reads. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of quarter one. First things first, I listened to a lot of Percy Jackson audiobooks, and I don't want to harp on it for too long. Like, if you want to skip ahead maybe 30 seconds or something, I'll be done talking about Percy Jackson if you don't care, which I don't blame you. Last fall, I decided that I wanted to lean into nostalgia and read all of the Percy Jackson books. I had started just independently with the Kane Chronicles, and then after I finished it, I was like, why not? Why not just do them all? So I went back, did the Lightning Thief, like everything. And I do mean the extended Percy Jackson universe. Some people call it the Riordan-verse, but I don't know, I don't like calling it that because he has other books that aren't related to Percy Jackson. So in my head, they're the extended Percy Jackson universe. I'm currently listening to the first Nico D'Angelo book, and then there's the second, and then there's 3 Magnus Chase books, and then I will be done. Like, officially done. I never read the Trials of Apollo when I was a kid. I had done the Percy Jackson, the Kane Chronicles, and some of the Heroes of Olympus, but I never made it to the Trials of Apollo. Apparently it's a fandom opinion that the Trials of Apollo aren't very good, but I love them. Especially as someone who was reading or listening to these in very quick succession. The Trials of Apollo gives you kind of like a jolt and like reinvigorates me back into everything that's happening, because even with Heroes of Olympus, which I do ultimately like, all of the characters, like the switching of the POV between Jason and Leo and Piper, they all occupy the same space as Percy Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're their own characters, but it starts to get a little stale being in the mind of a demigod. So to slightly reconfigure that, and we're in the mind of a fallen god who's going on quests, like, you might be like, okay, that's the same thing. But no, it's different. It's different. But it was really fun, and it just added some new energy. Like I said, now I'm reading Nico's series, and honestly, it's a bummer because I am a Nico D'Angelo truther. Like, literally, anytime in the Percy Jackson series when someone was like, Nico's being weird, Nico did this, I don't understand this, I'm like, I get it. I fucking get it. Like, that little boy could do no wrong. But I'm honestly just really not loving anything about these 2 books. Well, I'm only on the first one, but I'm not loving it so far. First off, I don't know why it's co-written by someone. When I looked it up, the only thing that I could find is Rick said something like, to be able to tell the story in the best way, I knew it was important to add on Mark Oshiro. Why? Like, literally, why? I don't know why it's co-written. I hate the way that the plot is unfolding and how we're doing all these flashbacks with Will, which I understand because their whole relationship basically came about off page, so now they have to go and do the work of showing people why to care about them. And I know that people do care about their couple, one, because the 2 of them who they are, and also, like, it's the first prominent gay relationship in the series, so I understand that for the fandom, like, that's something to cheer for. But Rick never did the work to actually lay out why they're a good pair, and I just feel like this flashback thing that we're doing is just not working for me to make me actually care for them as a couple. Like, in theory, I want them together, but, like, show me why, please. Show me why they should be together. I also listened to the first 2 books of the Percy Jackson college prep series. The 3rd one hasn't come out. I think maybe it's coming out in 2027, but I don't know if they've even officially stated that. It'll honestly probably come out in accordance to the 3rd season of the Percy Jackson show or something like that, because I feel like that little series of 3 books is pretty much only to promote the show. Okay, Percy Jackson talk over. 76% of the books that I consumed over the past 3 months were in audiobook format. 16% of the books were in some sort of a combo format, so that could have meant that I read some of the ebook, listened to some of the audiobook, read some of the physical book, read some of the ebook. A lot of the time that really just depends on where I am. So I might read the ebook if I'm out and about, but when I'm home, I'll read the physical book. 8% of those books were ebooks only, which typically happens when I have an advanced reader copy, that was given to me solely in ebook format. I don't typically read regular books in ebook format only. Like, I don't often request ebooks on Libby unless like it's genuinely my only option if I can't get in a physical book or I can't get in an audiobook. But I think I might be changing that because some of the arcs that I read, I really enjoyed reading them in ebook format. So maybe I'm getting more into it. So maybe that number will increase. 0% of the books for the past 3 months were physical only. When it comes to genre, there is no surprise that my top genre for the past 3 months was middle grade. We have 16 middle grade books, which is 16 Percy Jackson books. Crazy. We have 7 contemporary, 6 romance, 3 literary, 2 thriller, 2 mystery, and 2 horror books. I am a big supporter of my library system, and if you can, please support your local library by getting books in person, on Libby, on Hoopla. There's music, there's services that they offer, there are events. Like, use your library, please. 26 of these books were from my library system. 7 of them were books that I had bought secondhand at some point, and 4 of those books were either gifted to me or were advanced reader copies. For these past 3 months, there were 0 books that I had bought full price. The reason that I wanted to point this out in my wrap up is that some people think that reading has to be an expensive hobby, and it really does not. I own what I consider a lot of books. I just combined libraries with my boyfriend, and we like guessed how many books were in the apartment now, and I think it was around 150 with both of our books combined. They're mostly mine. But that being said, most of my library consists of secondhand books. So I mean little free libraries, library book sales, book swaps from bookstores, things like that. I know that booktubers love to do those massive book hauls. Watch me unbox $500 worth of Barnes & Noble's books and yada yada yada. You don't have to do that. For some people that's very obvious, but I've seen other people who feel discouraged to even start reading because they don't know how they will get access to the books that they want. So just know it is possible. This little graphic shows my star rating breakdown. As you can see, most of the books here were not rated. I didn't rate any of the Percy Jackson books or any memoirs that I read. The next biggest section is 4 stars, which I gave 6 4 stars. I gave 3 5 stars, 3 3 stars, and 3 2 stars. My average rating was 3.72. A Good Person by Kirsten King. This was a book by a debut author that I really enjoyed, and I actually did rate it 5 stars. Like, I do anticipate that this will probably be one of my favorite books of the year. But on the flip side, there's Here Lie All the Boys Who Broke My Heart, which I didn't think was like the absolute best thing ever written, but I had so much fun with it, and it made me really interested in checking out more thrillers in the future. In that same vein, 2 other positive standouts were Where Sleeping Girls Lie and also Beach Read. Both of these books in their respective genres made me more interested in checking out more books like them. Like, I really want to read the Ace of Spades series now, and I also really want to read more Emily Henry. My lowest rated book of the quarter was Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I did a month-long romance reading vlog for February, and generally romance is very outside of my comfort zone. I did enjoy my experience, and ultimately I learned a lot about what I don't and do like in romance books, and one of those really big discoveries came from reading Before I Let Go. Do you see her? She's literally like climbing on top of, just freaking out. If anyone's curious why, it's just because it's windy. Like, she hears the wind, and she's okay. She's sitting next to me, and this is gonna go on for hours. I didn't say this in the reading romance vlog because I really didn't want it to come across as dismissive of the genre or to anyone's reading taste, anyone's political views, anyone's relationship styles, or anything like that. But something that I did learn over this quarter is that a reason why a lot of romance books don't work for me, or popular romance books, because romance as a genre is so incredibly vast, and I know that I will find like my type, but a lot of the ones that I was reading, why they weren't working for me is because ultimately I think it does have to do with kind of my relationship style and some of my political views, that I just don't believe in the relationship unit existing in the same way that many people do in contemporary romance. I don't know if that makes sense at all. I think that it would probably do me good to explore more queer romances, which, not to say that their relationship dynamics would guaranteed be any better in my mind, but I'm sure just like the varied experiences of life and, you know, things like that might make those be a little bit more relatable to me. I have a few non-reading notes from the quarter. First, I reached 2,000 followers on Book Talk, and I'm just so eternally grateful for that. And the second is that I watched all of the Lord of the Ring movies for the very first time, and I did watch the extended cut for every single one. At the request of my freaking out dog, we're gonna go bunker down in the closet and pretend that a tornado is coming, even though it's just wind.